Hey there, welcome to the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. My name is Todd Rhoades. I'm one of the co-founders over at chemistrystaffing.com, and I'm your host today here on the podcast. And today, we're going to be diving into a topic that can sometimes keep us up at night, and it's making tough decisions when the Bible doesn't offer a clear-cut answer. I don't know if you're like me, but man, I wish that for every decision I needed to make, whether it's personally, for my family, financially, for my kids, vocationally, all of those, I wish that there was a chapter and verse that I could go to. I would just say, Todd, don't be stupid, do this. But you know what? A lot of times there just isn't. And often as church leaders, we face situations that aren't explicitly addressed in Scripture. And it could be a really complex ethical dilemma. It could be a controversial social issue. It could be a challenging personnel decision that you need to make. And in these gray areas, it's really easy to feel lost and uncertain and even a little bit scared. But here's the truth. Not every decision comes with a neat and tidy biblical solution. While the Bible is our ultimate guide, it doesn't provide a step-by-step manual for every situation we encounter. I wish it did, but it doesn't. So how do we navigate these gray areas? Those areas where we wish the Bible spoke, but it really doesn't. It gives direction, but it doesn't really help us make our final decision. So how do we make decisions that honor God and serve the best interest of our church and our community? Throughout history, theologians and church leaders have been wrestling with this challenge of exactly this, applying biblical principles to complex and ever-changing situations. And while there's not a one-size-fits-all answer, they do and have offered up some valuable insights on how we can approach decision-making in the absence of clear biblical directives. John Stott, a famous theologian, once said, the Bible gives us principles but not programs. So in other words, the Bible provides us with a framework for understanding God's will and character, but it's really up to us to prayerfully apply those principles to the specific situations that we face. So how in the world do you do that? How do you navigate those gray areas with wisdom and discernment and a willingness to really seek God's counsel? Let me give you just a few tips here. Maybe these will be an encouraging and maybe there'll be some good advice for you. I hope so. The first is, and this almost seems like don't even say it because it's just such a given, but pray for guidance. Seek God's wisdom and direction through prayer. Ask Him to give you clarity and peace and courage to make the right decision. And even if there's not a specific book and chapter and verse, you still consult Scripture. While the Bible might not answer the direct answer, the yes or the no, or do this or do that, it can provide some valuable principles and insights that guide your decision-making. Another thing you can do is to seek wise counsel. I do this often. Talk to trusted mentors or colleagues. Talk to other staff members at your church. Talk to your leadership team. Talk to your elders. A lot of times they can offer some valuable perspectives that kind of help you and to weigh those pros and cons of different options. And then consider the impact. Think about how your decision will affect others, both within your church and the wider community. And sometimes, this could be dangerous, but sometimes you just need to trust your instincts. And instincts are hard to describe. Sometimes it's what you feel like would be the best decision. Other times it's just how is God leading you? If something doesn't feel right, even if you can't pinpoint why, don't be afraid to pause and reconsider that situation. Here's your bottom line for today. Making tough decisions in the absence of clear biblical guidance is, honestly, it's part of leadership. It requires wisdom and discernment, and it requires reliance on God's guidance. But remember, you're not alone in this situation. Every pastor in America, every church staff member in America has to do this, has to make decisions on things that are not set out clearly in Scripture. So seek wise counsel, pray for clarity, and trust that God will lead you in the right direction. If there's any way I can help you, either with some coaching or some consulting, if there's any staff ways that I can help you or your church, I would love to be able to hear your story and see if there's any way that we can work together. Always reach out to me, podcast@chemistrystaffing.com. Thanks for tuning in today. Remember, even in the gray areas, God is with you. I often say, God is surprised at nothing. We are surprised, but God is not surprised. And he will continue to guide you and give you wisdom that you need to lead. I'm firmly convinced of that. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you'll join us again here again tomorrow on the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. Talk to you soon.